Hello, Petal. How you doing? How you going? How's your week been? How's life? It's turned chilly here and autumn is well and truly bedding in. And when I was out with the dogs this morning, well, I say out with the dogs. Basically, Ellie's obviously very, very aged now, and Dobby's like skittish, bearing his situation. But it was so cold. Dobby was like, "No, not good." Didn't even get 10 feet down the road. And Dobby was like, not dealing with that. So he's actually, not only has he been the bestest boy and had his claws cut for the first time ever this week, and he had a little bit of a skittish moment, but then he was like, I'm resigned to it. Go on then, man. You know what I mean? It's kind of like he was well and truly settled into it, right? So I was surprised about that, because he is a very skittish dog because of the way he was treated before he was rescued. But this morning, as I said, he had this, he decided he did not like the cold weather, and he wanted to come straight back in. And I thought, okay, so I still have one of Yuffie's old hoodies underneath the stairs, like next to, because the rest of them are all vacuum packed and put away. The ones that she didn't use, I was. But I caught one of her old hoodies out. It's like on a hook in under the stairs where we've got like a cloakroom sort of thing. And put it on him, not a bother. And I was like, well, okay then. I'm quite proud of this because obviously it'll keep him warm, nice and warm. But I've got a lot of different types of hoodies and jackets for the dogs, you know. And the one that was under the stairs in the cloakroom was actually like a bright fluorescent, fuchsia pink hoodie with a star spangle, like a spangly sort of skull and crossbones on the back. And he actually really suits it. Hey, you know, at the end of the day, colour doesn't define who wears what, you know, that sort of thing. But it's just like, it's such oh bless him, it really suits him. He looks so good in it. But the most important thing I think he took to it was because it was nice and warm and cosy, and he was just like, oh. You can just see him saying that because he just like had it on. He was kind of like a little bit, what's going on with this hood thing, and then he's like, nah. So yeah, that was I lead such a rock and roll life. The other good news is the bedroom is now fully stripped and ready to go and get the lining paper on it in a couple of weeks' time, and then paint over that, then the coving, and then put all the bookcases in, and then the sound quality should improve a bit further. But yes, my bedroom's, the light is at the end of the tunnel, because I was using my studio, but because the noise at the back, I swapped between the two, like the front room and the middle room, which is the studio room, because it all depends on the time of year and who's doing what. Because it's better to be in the front room in autumn, because the next door neighbour, he chops wood for his fire, and it gets really noisy out there. And then in the summer, there's no point doing the front room because it's the green out the front and the kids are out there. You know, so it's kind of like good to have the two. Right, anyway, that's 3.5 minutes of my life. Woohoo! As ever, if you can like, share and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. I'm not really bothered about number counts or anything like that. It's just nice to, you know, still stay on the algorithm and, you know, stay here as it were. But yeah, I'm going to stop waffling now. And get on with another fine myth by the wonderful Mr. Robert Aspirin. Chapter 18. No matter what the product or service might be, you can find it somewhere else cheaper. E. Scrooge. Where did that tent go? I demanded desperately. What tent? The keeper blinked, looming behind me. That tent, I exclaimed, pointing at the now vacant space. The Deville frowned, craning his neck, which at his height gave him considerable visibility. There isn't any tent there, he announced with finality. I know! That's the point. Hey, quit trying to change the subject, the keeper growled, poking me in the chest with an unbelievably large finger. Are you going to pay for the dragon or not? I looked around for support, but no one was watching. Apparently disputes such as this were common on Diva. I told you there's been a mistake. I don't want your dragon. Goily, said the dragon, cocking his head at me.
Don't give me that, the keeper boomed. If you don't want him, why did you feed him?
I didn't feed him. He ate a piece of my sleeve. Leap, said the dragon, making another unsuccessful pass at my shirt.
So you admit he got food from you?
Well, in a manner of speaking, yeah. So what? I was getting tired of being shouted at.
So pay up. He's no good to me anymore.
I surveyed the dragon. He didn't seem to be any the worse for having eaten the shirt. What's wrong with him? He looks all right to me. Leap, said the dragon, and sidled up to me again.
Oh, he's fine,
the keeper sneered.
Except now he's attached. An attached dragon isn't any good, except to the person or thing he is attached to.
Well, who's he attached to?
Don't get smart with me. He's attached to you. Has been ever since you fed him.
Well, feed him again and unattach him. I have pressing matters elsewhere.
Just like that,
the devil said sceptically, towering to new heights.
You know very well it doesn't work that way. Once a dragon's attached, he's attached forever. That's why they're so valuable.
Forever? I asked.
Well, until one of you dies, but any fool knows not to feed a dragon unless they want it attached to them. The idiot beasts are too impressionable, especially the young ones like this.
I looked at the dragon again. He was very young. His wings were just beginning to bud, which I took as a sign of immaturity, and his fangs were needle-sharp instead of worn to rounded points like his brethren in the stall. Still, there was strength in the muscles rippling beneath these scales. Yes, I decided, I'd back my dragon in a fight against any. Oily, said the dragon, licking both ends of his moustache simultaneously with his forked tongue. That brought me to my senses. A dragon? What did I want with a dragon? Well, I said haughtily, I guess I'm not just any fool then. If I had known the consequences of allowing him to eat my sleeve, I would have—
Look, Sonny,
the Deville snarled, poking my chest.
If you think you're going to—
Something inside me snapped. I knocked his hand away with a fury that surprised me. The name isn't Sonny, I hissed in a low voice I didn't recognise as my own.
It's Skeeve. Now lower your voice when you're talking to me. Keep your dirty finger to yourself.
I was shaking, though whether from rage or from fear I couldn't tell. I had spent my entire burst of emotion in that tirade, and now found myself wondering if I would survive the aftermath. Surprisingly, the keeper gave ground a few steps at my tirade, and was now studying me with new puzzlement. I felt a pressure at the back of my legs, and risked a glance. The dragon was now crouched behind me, craning his neck to peer around my waist at the keeper.
I'm sorry.
The keeper was suddenly humble and fawning.
I didn't recognise you at first. You said your name was—
Skeeve, I prompted haughtily.
Skeeve.
He frowned thoughtfully.
Strange. I don't remember that name.
I wasn't sure who or what he thought I was, but if I had learned one thing travelling with Aahz, it was to recognise and seize an advantage when I saw one. The secrecy surrounding my identity should be a clue in itself, if you know what I mean, I murmured, giving him my best conspiratorial wink.
Of course,
he responded.
I should have realised immediately.
No matter, I yawned. Now then, about the dragon.
Yes. Forgive me for losing my temper, but you can see my predicament.
It seemed strange having someone that immense simpering at me, but I rose to the occasion. Well, I'm sure we can work something out, I smiled. As I spoke, a thought flashed through my head. Aahz had all our money. I didn't have a single item of any value on me, except— I reached into my pocket, forcing myself to make the move casual. It was still there, the charm I had taken from Quigley's statue body that allowed the wearer to see through spells. I had taken it when Aahz wasn't looking, and I'd kept it hidden in case it might be useful in some crisis. Well, this definitely looked like a crisis. Here, I said, tossing the charm to him. I believe this should settle our accounts. He caught it deftly and gave it a fast, squinting appraisal.
This, he said, you want to purchase a hatchling dragon for this?
I had no idea of the charm's relative worth, but bluffing had got me this far. I do not haggle, I said coldly. That is my first and final offer. If it is not satisfactory, then return the charm and see if you can get a better price for an attached dragon.
You drive a hard bargain, Skeeve.
The Deville was still polite, but his smile looked like it hurt.
Very well. It's a deal. Shake on it.
He extended his hand. There was a sudden hissing noise, and my vision was obscured. The dragon had arched its neck forward over my head and was confronting the Deville eye to eye. His attitude was suddenly a miniature version of the ferocity I had seen displayed earlier by his larger brethren. I realised with a start that he was defending me. Apparently the keeper realised it too, for he jerked back his hand as if he'd just stuck it in an open fire.
If you could call off your dragon long enough for us to close the deal,
he suggested with forced politeness. I wasn't sure how I was supposed to do this, but I was willing to give it a try. He's okay, I shouted, thumping the dragon on the side of the neck to get its attention. Leap, said the dragon, turning his head to peer into my face. I noticed his breath was bad enough to kill an insect in flight. It's okay, I repeated, edging out from under his neck. Since I was already moving, I stepped forward and shook the keeper's hand. He responded absently, never taking his eyes from the dragon. Say, I said, confidentially, I'm rather new to the dragon game. What does he eat? Besides shirts, I mean.
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. They're omnivorous, so they can eat anything, but they're picky eaters. Just let him alone and he'll choose his own diet. Old clothes, selective leaves, house pets.
Terrific, I mumbled.
Well, if you'd excuse me, I've got other customers to talk to.
Just a minute. Don't I get one of those pendants that you use to control the big dragons?
What for?
Well, to control my dragon.
Those are to control unattached dragons. You don't need one for one that's attached to you, and it wouldn't work on a dragon that's attached to someone else.
Oh, I said with a wisdom I didn't feel.
If you want one, though, I have a cousin who has a stall that sells them. It's about 3 rows up and 2 rows over. It might be a good investment for you. Could save wear and tear on your dragon if you come up against an unattached dragon. It'd give Junior there a better chance of growing up.
That brings up another question, I said. How long does it take?
Not long, it's just 3 rows up and...
No, I mean how long till my dragon reaches maturity?
Oh, not more than 4 or 5 centuries.
Leap! I'm not sure if the dragon said that or I did. So, Skeeve's got himself a dragon. That was a good job, wasn't it? I want a dragon. I wouldn't mind a dragon. It probably cost me less than my MOT did. Like, can you imagine those? Like, kind of, imagine taking a dragon for an MOT and then there's something wrong and then they turn around and say, well, we can't pass your MOT because of this. And the dragon will be like, really? Fire, flames, dust, ashes, smouldering, glitter. Oh my goodness gracious, I need to get a life. This is such a good book. I'm enjoying it so much. I just wish I could do some more recording. It's just been one of those weeks. I was having that conversation with the bestie this morning anyway, and just kind of like, you know, it's been a crazy rough year. But I think after, you know that sort of thing, like, let's get all the naff stuff out of the way and then clear the decks, and then going forward, everything should be lovely and fluffy. Touch wood, both wood. That's... I'm just going to shut up. Anyway, sorry about the waffle. If you're too hot, find yourself some cheer, drink some water. If you're too cold, snuggle up like a human burrito and get yourself a nice hot cup of tea, or whichever hot beverage you prefer. But most of all, take it easy, pedal.